Hi all, happy Sunday. How are you doing today? I hope you're all doing well. Chat on the box down below. How are you doing today? Whether doing well, not so well. Today I'm doing okay. Dinner is cooking. I'm cooking a simple roast dinner, which is I just got a piece of belly pork. It's in the oven now, roasting. And then we're going to have with defnut potatoes. If those who don't know, defnut potatoes are this baked potato dish in the oven with cream and milk and garlic and black pepper and a pinch of nutmeg. You have to try. It's delicious. It's delicious, and also extremely simple to make. And then we're going to have with some steamed carrots and peas. Yes. Anyway. Today I was feeling a bit anxious. Not for anything particular. I'll tell you what, actually, it's because I had in my mind I had to record this video, and today I didn't feel like it at all. But then I thought, no, you've got to do it. You've got to do it. End of story. So here I am. So yeah. So where did I leave at last time? I think yes. So my uncle went to pick me up at the hospital, and so I walked to the car by myself, all limping and not really moving really well, but I did it all by myself. That's where I got to. Again, remember, sometimes I've got to stop and try to recollect actually what happened. So I may take some breaks. I mean, not breaks. I may have to. If I pause for a bit, it's because I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. So yeah. So I got picked up at the hostel. We got home, and then my uncle opened the front door for me, and then I faced the house where 7 days prior, that's the house where I suffered the stroke. And when I look inside the house, it felt sad. It had this sadness feeling about it. It felt sad, but at the same time, I felt like I was home. I was home, at least I was safe, because I was in my safe environment. So immediately my uncle took me to our bedroom, mine and my husband's bedroom. And I tell you what, the bedroom back then, it was so extremely depressive, because that was 5 years after we moved into this house, and nothing was done to it. To be honest, nothing is being done to it still. All we've done so far was to paint some walls. The living room is still waiting. The walls of the living room are still waiting to be painted. It's got some patches in it. So anyway, the color of our bedroom back then, it was grime. The owners who lived in this house before, they painted that room in the most awful red, like blood color red, awful. So then my uncle put me in my bed. He covered me up. Immediately I went to sleep, and then I just slept. He used to come and wake me up to take my medicine. It was so much that I had to take, so many I had to take. So I just slept. I just collapsed in my bed and I just slept. And even though felt safe in my bedroom, in my house, as I've said initially, there was this sense of depression in the house. So I slept that night because we got home. I had a bit to eat when we got home. Did I even eat? I don't think I even ate that day because I just wanted to sleep. However, the following day he said, no, you have to get up. You have to at least have some breakfast. So I had some breakfast. You know what? I'm trying to remember even if I ate very much during the first week. I don't think I did. I think I just slept. Then some breakfast used to be taken to me. And sometimes lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch and dinner used to be taken for me to my bedroom for me to eat. Even so, I didn't eat very much because I just wanted to sleep. That's the first week at home. And then one day I came downstairs just to have some lunch, weak as anything. I didn't want to speak. And going down the stairs, because our house got a first floor, our bedroom is on the first floor. Going down the stairs, honestly, that's where I could feel that my body wasn't right. My leg wasn't moving right. There wasn't anything right about it. So, even so, I pushed myself as hard as I could. Yeah. I used to calm down, like, I don't know, I just wasn't moving right, essentially. I was trying to find the right word to describe how I was moving around in a jilted way. I'm not sure if this is making sense. Yeah, but I wasn't moving right. So one day I thought, right, I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to have some breakfast, chat for a bit. I wasn't really chatting. Oh, no, actually, no. Another thing about having strokes, any noise around you is like all the noise around you is so sharp that, for example, two people just speaking next to you, it causes you confusion, it causes you annoyance, because it just feels like just a whole load of noise. Like, you know, if you look at the dictionary, what the meaning of noise is, that's what it feels like. It just feels messed up noise in your head. So I didn't stay downstairs very much because, number one, I just want to sleep. I never slept so much in my whole life. Even at the hospital, I don't know if you remember last week, I said I slept at the hospital, but not very much. I was very aware of what's going on around me. But when I came home, I just sleep boom like that. I never fell asleep so fast in my whole life, and I never slept so much. I suppose my body needed that. The connection in my brain was happening then, and also I might have been in my body might have been in kind of some form of exhaustion. My body was just exhausted as anything. Yeah, so one day that week, oh, by the way, my uncle and my aunties used to take turn. I don't remember, it was 1 week one, the following week the other. I know, I'm not sure where there was some. They used to do weekends. My aunties come and do weekends. and then my uncle used to do weekdays. I'm not clear of that, but I know they used to take turns. Because obviously they had to work, they also had their own lives, didn't they? They couldn't just be catering for me 24/7 and forget their lives, their business as usual lives. So they used to take turns. I'm not sure whether it was my aunties doing weekend and him doing weekdays. I'm not clear of that. Anyway, so one day, this was the day, the week or weekend that my uncle was looking after me, right? So I had some breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And like I said to you, I didn't stick down very much because I just want to sleep. I want to rest. I didn't want to hear any voices around me. I didn't want to hear any noise. So I was feeling like great, strong. Obviously not strong at all, because I was feeling over optimistic about what I was capable of at that time. So, no, it was before I had dinner. I remember my uncle was preparing dinner, and I said, I'm just going to quickly go upstairs. No, lies, sorry, he's coming back. I was in bed, and my uncle said, listen, I'm going to start cooking dinner very soon. Are you going to come down for dinner? I said, yes, I'll come down for dinner. I said, okay, I'm going to start cooking dinner very soon. When it's about 15 minutes before dinner is ready, I'll call you down, I'll come up to get you. I said, that's great. So I thought, right, that's amazing. Me feeling over optimistic about my capabilities. And also not that, I was still in denial about what happened to me. Complete denial. In my mind, I was going to wake up from this awful nightmare and I was going to be fine. So with that in mind, my uncle went back downstairs, and then I said, right, I'm going to have a shower, because I've not showered since that day at the hospital. Not showered at all. I hadn't showered. I haven't washed my hair at all in 2 weeks since I suffered the stroke. So I thought, I'm going to shower, I'm going to wash my hair. So I go in the shower cubicle in our suite, turn the shower head on, was pouring hot water over me, and then me like obviously struggling, trying to put soap on my body, trying to like my hand like that, and honestly, it's sad for me to go back and try to think to vision what I looked like at the time, me having a shower and struggling so much, you know. So I put soap all over my body, etc., and then I put shampoo on my hair. I didn't even have a chance to condition it or to put shower gel in my body or soap in my body. I just started to feel this weird feeling all over my body. And then I thought, right, this is not right. I better get out of this shower. Maybe it's because the water was too hot, but I don't think that's the reason, because I never have showered with hot water. So I turned the temperature, cooler temperature, it made no difference. And then all of a sudden I started to feel slightly dizzy. And I thought, right, I better get out of the shower now, because otherwise there's going to be a disaster here. So I literally crawled to my bed, because I couldn't even stand up. That's how bad it was. I just managed just in time to get out of the shower, crawled to my bed, soap all over my hair, all over my hair. I just go into the bed and just cover myself with the thickest duvet ever, you know, because we usually have two duvets. I got the thickest one and the other one on top of it. I was just shaking like anything. Shaking, my hair wet, my body wet, everything wet. And then I could hear my uncle calling distance for me. And I didn't answer it, and he found it a bit weird. And I tell you what, he wasn't calling for me because it was about 50 minutes for the food to get ready. No, he had something, because he just had this feeling in his heart that something didn't seem right. And then by my uncle came with my other uncle. Two of them are my auntie's husbands. So they came to look after me, but there's one particular one. The other one just sit in the living room and wash the dishes. That's all he did. The other one used to cook, looked after me, do everything. So that's why I only mentioned one in particular, because I didn't even get to see the other one very much, just sat in the living room. So yeah, so he started calling out for my name, and I didn't answer because I didn't hear it. I'm telling you this because he told me afterwards. And then he told my other auntie's husband, "Oh, I'm worried about her." And he said to him, "Don't you worry too much about her. I'm sure she's right." He said, no. Something doesn't seem right. Let me go and check. The other one, "No, leave her alone. She's fine. Leave her alone." Whilst I was in bed, shaking as anything. And I was like, "Oh." And then he knocked on the door, say, hello, can I come in?" Knocked on the door again, nothing. Said, "Knock on the door." I said, "I'm going to come in because you're not answering." When he opened the door, I was like, soap all over my head. He said, "Oh my," he panicked so much. I felt, I shouldn't have done that. I felt so bad for me getting in the shower and make somebody panic. He's drying my hair, drying my feet. He covered me, obviously I was covered, so he didn't see me naked at all. He tried to be as respectful as possible. He didn't see any private bits of mine, I guarantee you that. He said, "What have you done? Oh my God, what have you done? You're not allowed to have a shower anymore." He's, telling me off, but at the same time being really delicate with the way he was talking to me. "You're not having a shower anymore, oh my God. You're gonna give me a heartache. Should I take you to hospital? Are you okay?" I said, I'm fine, I just need to rest." "I'm gonna take you to hospital." "No, don't take me to hospital. Just give me some time to rest. I'm sure I will recover soon." "Oh my God, what are you doing? What have you done?" Etc. I just made that man panic as anything, and that was so unfair what I did to him, because after what I'd gone through, suffering the stroke, and he's looking after me, and then why did I have to be so irresponsible just getting a shower when I wasn't right? I know why, because I thought I was strong, I was invincible, and then I was living in denial. So anyway, so that was one of the things that happened. So every week was the same. They're swapping with each other, not much, swapping with each other. Him one week, my auntie the other week, or maybe weekends. I'm not sure how they worked it out, because number one, it's too long ago, and number two, I didn't really pay attention what days were they swapping each other. So one day, then I started moving around a bit more because I really wanted to walk. One day, I'll never forget that day. I woke up, started walking, came down the stairs, and my body felt 100% normal. Felt like I never had a stroke. No, that paralysis that I had on my right hand side completely disappeared. Honestly, it's like, oh, so I woke up from this nightmare then, just for one day. I felt like, oh my God, my body's back. I can't believe this is what happened, Oh God, I can be normal again. One day I walked around, I I'm not sure whether speaking well or not sure, but one thing was still the same. The noise, I could not bear any noise at all. I just couldn't bear it at all. But for one day, I'll never forget that day to this day. I felt absolutely normal. Even today, I don't feel as normal as I did back then. I don't feel normal at all. Because I still have pain on my muscles, on my nerves, on my right leg, and I can't stand at all for very long. Honestly, you don't want to go through the pain I go through daily, weekly, every night, whatever. So I'm just trying to go back again. Yeah, so that's pretty much one week the other. And then there was this weekend that my sister lives in Newcastle, came down with my cousin who lives in Edinburgh. So my cousin lives in Edinburgh, picked my sister who lives in Newcastle, and they drove down to where I am. And they stayed with me for like a long weekend. I think it wasn't even the full week. I believe it's the whole weekend. My sister managed to get some days off work, so did my cousin. So they came down, and it's so nice to have different people coming in inside of the house and come and see me, to look after me. So lovely. They're cooking, they just doing whatever they want to do around the house. Even though I couldn't join them, sometimes I could see the noise downstairs. Sometimes I try to join them, but essentially I always had to go back up because of the noise, because of the movement, because my body just wanted to rest. And I tell you what, when my cousin came down with my sister, it was then that I heard of the band. I'm sure I've told you about this. I've been to Korea twice because honestly, I'm not joking on that. I'm partly Korean. My great granddad was Korean, and my cousin was she still is so much in the Korean series, K-pop bands, and she's the one who saw me into it. And I remember that one of the days we were down was a Korean band called BTS. Amazing, I love them. Oh my god, they're so amazing. She got me into it herself. She got a 45-year-old into a boy band. My husband constantly takes me down and say, I cannot believe I'm married to a 45-year-old woman who behaves like a 15-year-old teenager. So I love them so much. And right, so my camera decided to switch itself off again. My phone, sorry. I used the camera on my phone to record these videos, and got the message saying I've reached my my limit. So had to go back and delete a whole lot of videos. I hope that I won't need them again. I really do. But so I hope this camera doesn't play games, the same games as it did yesterday, because yesterday's I feel so frustrated. So anyway, where was I? So yeah, it was my cousin who introduced me to BTS, this Korean band. I absolutely love them. To be honest, I'm not as obsessed with them as I was before they went to do their military service. Before they went to do their military service, I was completely obsessed with them. Oh my god, there was even one time when I used to receive notifications them doing lives, I'd be like, watch them lives, yeah, just watch them. And I've got this moment of pride about me. I like to show off to everybody. I sent a message. Jungkook is my favorite one, he's the youngest one. It was doing a live. I said, please sing this song. I kept posting over and over again, and then it was like, no, that song is gonna make me cry if I sing this song, thank you very much. He didn't sing the song, but the fact that he saw my message and he responded to that message live, I was like, Oh my God. And then the last one, it was just before he went into his military service. So what he did is, one of the other band members, he started his show in preparation to going to the military service, to invite many people. Then he started invited the members of his band BTS. It was the last one to go to military, so it made sense. So all the members of BTS went to his show. And then this guy Jungkook, when he went to his show, oh my God, that was madness, so crazy. And then I commented again, by the way, this is the best show, this is the best episode of this show I've ever watched. It was crazy, it's mad, so much fun. He said, thank you very much, I really appreciate it. So, again, oh my God. Anyway, I digress. Why do I always like to digress? So, yeah, that day, there actually was around the quarantine, obviously nobody around to leave the house, nobody to go pubs or anything like that. Okay, gyms had happened, but still pretty much restricted. So BTS decided to do a show, like a show in this stadium in Korea, but with nobody around, because people weren't allowed to really interact with each other. They had to stay 2 meters away from each other. To me, that's BS anyway. To me, that's always been BS. Because viruses, they can travel anywhere and everywhere. For example, there's one time my husband was utterly depressed. It was one of those times that we had an argument, really split up, really got divorced. I submitted divorce papers, but I used to come and visit him every single week because he was not right. He was not right mentally. So one week I came to visit. He was so extremely ill. He had this really bad cold. He was shivering. He couldn't speak. He couldn't eat. He couldn't do anything. That time, he wasn't leaving the house at all. He didn't leave the house, not even once. He wasn't even picking up the letters that the postman used to post in our door. So, if this 2 meter thing worked, my husband wouldn't have gotten ill, because he's literally stayed like 3 months without leaving the house even once, with no interaction with anybody. The only interaction he would have was with me. And then when I found him ill, I'd been away for 2 weeks. I'd gone to Portugal for 2 weeks. So clearly that wasn't for me either. So when I came to see him, see whether he's alright, he was ill as anything. So anyways, I digress again. I always like digressing, don't I? So yeah, then they did this show for their fans. Obviously their fans couldn't be there, but it was a live show. Did the fans have to pay? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they had to pay. It was just free for all. I'm not sure. Maybe they had to pay for it, because I wasn't aware of who they were. I wasn't aware of this show. I wasn't aware of what was happening around the world. I wasn't aware of what was happening around me. So that's the first time I got introduced to BTS. Oh, is this BTS? No. So I looked at them. Oh, they look a bit weird. Don't know. Fast forward 5 months, I'm #1 fan of them. So yeah, so again, like I said, it's pretty much people moving in and out of my house, moving things around. And then the day came that my husband arrived from being offshore. My uncle was here, and my other uncle was here. And I knew he was arriving that day. And I thought, no, today I'm going to have another shower. I won't be washing my hair, but I'm going to have another shower because my husband's arriving today, so at least I won't smell nice. Who would care about that? Who would have? Just an insane person like me. So I was having a shower. I heard the door opening, and I heard this. He's got a certain way of walking because he's really tall, and he's not fat at all. He's got this athletic body, but he's got this heaviness around him. You can definitely see when he's walking. He's always been like that. He's not fat at all, trust me. And when I tell people he's never been to the gym, it's like, what? How come he's got that body? Because it's just genetically like that. So I could hear him. I said, that's him, he's arrived. So I was like trying to get ready. And then he opened the shower room, the door, our bathroom door, the ensuite. And then I looked at him with this, oh my God, you're back. The way he reacted to me that time, I'll never forgive him for that. And I remind him of that every single time. I'm not sure because he didn't want to accept that I had the stroke. He didn't want to accept that perhaps he's going to have a disabled wife. The way he reacted to me was so harsh. He didn't say hello to me. He didn't say how I'm doing. He immediately say, as soon as he opened the door, because we got this coffee machine, and then it comes with a special spoon where you measure the spoon, put in the coffee thing holder, you put on the machine and stamp the coffee down. He said, where's the spoon to make the coffee? I can't find it anywhere. Has your family been around and messing my things up? He didn't say good morning to me. That's the first thing he said to me. Everything in me just collapsed immediately. I thought, wow, this is what I'm getting. This is what I'm going to get. And then he went back, slammed the door, came downstairs. And he never once he came to see me whether I was alright or not. That he never asked me. So then I think that my other uncle is in the living room, not the one who's looking after me, because the one who's looking after me, I believe he'd gone to the gym or gone to the shop to buy something. I believe the other uncle was in the living room, told the one who's after me what happened, because I'm sure he could hear him, what's going on. And not only I felt sad, disappointed, but I felt extremely embarrassed because he did that to me in front of my family. And for that, and for many things which I'm going to tell you again, I'll never forgive him, and he knows that. And I remind him of that every single time. So yeah, and then my other uncle came back. I don't know how he found out about how the conversation started. He basically told my husband off, said, listen, your wife has been extremely ill. She suffered the stroke, and you're worried about some spoon? Are you right in your head? He went on and on. I don't know. I don't remember the conversation, but yeah, my uncle told me afterwards, I'd tell your husband off because of this and that. I said, all right, okay. So embarrassing. It's so extremely embarrassing. Oh my God, so extremely embarrassing to me. Even talking about it makes me want to, I don't know. Yeah. So since my husband was back, my family stopped to come and look after me because my husband was back. There's no need for them to come to look after me anyway. And then and then that's the nightmare that started with me and my husband in this household. That me sleeping in peace, and things that just ended the moment my husband arrived and my family left, because number one, he wouldn't cook for me, he wouldn't look after me, it wouldn't even make me a cup of tea. Nothing, believe it or not, it wouldn't even make me a cup of tea. I literally, if I wanted to eat, I had to come downstairs and cook for myself. I was a cripple back then. 100% I was a cripple back then. I couldn't even hold a knife properly. I couldn't even hold a spoon or take any pans out of the cupboard to cook, to chop. I could not do any of that, but I had to do that to survive. He wouldn't even hand me a glass of water. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. So I had to look after myself during this time. And then, and then I thought I need to get out of this nightmare, because sometimes he shouted at me. It just absolutely, it was cruel to me. It was evil to me. Because not only, my family was, so I think in total, after returning on, let me just make sure I've got this right. So yeah, it was about I suffered the stroke in September, end of September, because then I went to Portugal just before Christmas to do some examinations there. September, October, yeah. It was sometime around end of October, beginning of November. That's when my husband came back, and I stayed with him here in the house for another maybe 4 weeks. That was an absolute nightmare to me. I couldn't rest properly. I couldn't do anything. You know, my peace had gone. My recovery, my love and recovery just disappeared, just like that, just like anything. Yeah. Which, by the way, I just remembered around that time I had a physiotherapist coming. The moment I arrived at the house, they started sending me a physiotherapist every week. That physiotherapist was so utterly useless. She didn't give me a single exercise. She didn't check my body to see my body was all right. She just walk in, sit on the sofa and just chat. I said, aren't you going to give me an exercise? No, what you're doing is fine. Wait, you just carry on whatever you're doing. I said, aren't you going to give me some exercise so I can start strengthening my muscles, so the memory on my muscles, on my leg starts returning? No, well, you're doing absolutely fine. So there's one time she asked me, open my arms, lift one leg, yeah, you're fine, carry on doing whatever you're doing. And that's all she did. She never assessed my body. She didn't even ask for exercise. She was absolutely useless. So much, right? And I'm sure this got to do with the fact that my husband's back, and then I was feeling down. It made me feel so down, because I was already down anyway. Then imagine having your husband behaving like that around you. I know what you're going to say. Oh, she should have left him, etc. That's not how marriages are built. You know, marriages are built resilience, bad moments, good moments. It's not just because your husband would cheat on you, you just leave, like just drop. No, the reason that marriages last for 60, 70 years, and I've spoken to many couples, is because resilience, understanding, compassion, and forgiveness. Yes, and communication. I'm not even going to talk about communication, because I'm the worst person at communicating. I'm such a bad communicator. Honestly, I am. She comes every week. She's come every week, and then one day I woke up, said, listen, I cannot see the face of this woman this week. I cannot see the face of this woman again. What are you going to do? He asked me. I said, well, I don't know, but I don't see her again. And then the afternoon, the doorbell rang. My husband went to open the door, said, and she called me. He went up to know. He didn't call me down. He didn't even call me down. He went to check me up. Says, well, your physiotherapist is here. And I was so angry. I just shouted, Tell that woman to never come back here again, because she's absolutely useless. She's not done a single thing for me, for my recovery, nothing. She just made me wake up for no reason, come to go downstairs and see her when I should be resting. What does she want? She can go back and say, I've completed the treatment, she's fine, because she's not doing anything. She's not. I shouted so loud, my husband just staring at me. Okay. He came downstairs, he said, I'm sure you heard my wife, what she said. Oh, I'm really sorry, I can give her some exercises. No, she doesn't want to see you anymore. She also said the exercises you gave her last week, some instructions on piece of paper, you didn't even show her how to do it, how often to do it. So no thanks, you're not going to do anything. You've been seeing her for the past 4 weeks and you haven't done anything. The most crucial moments, you haven't done anything. So what are you going to do different this time around? No thanks. Yeah, she left, she never came back. Because that woman's absolutely useless as anything. And then a week just before we come into Portugal, this other lady came. She was somebody to assess how my brain was operating, whether I could start calculating things well, etc. And I passed with flying colours about seeing a fish, the fish moving around, you know, that, and also that bit of metal with a hoop when you go around that touching the sides. I passed that as well, so I did really well. But honestly, I had to concentrate so hard. I passed with flying colours. Anyway, going back, so as I'm here living this nightmare house, which it became a nightmare, a hell. Honestly, became a hell to me. Then I was speaking to my cousin who was in Portugal. My uncles and aunties, please go to Portugal, do a full checkup in Portugal, and then perhaps you could get something out of it. So I said, yeah, I'm definitely gonna come 100% because I just want to get out of this hell nightmare. So I bought my ticket. I told my husband, I'm going to Portugal on this date, and here I am going. Actually, so I'd had my date booked. I had the date of my flight all arranged. It's going to be about 1 or 2 weeks time. I don't remember the time period because obviously quite a lot of it is I'm just relying on my memory of something that happened 5 years ago. So between that, me buying the ticket and flying to Portugal, my husband's like, right, we need to paint our bedroom. I thought, what? So, me, disabled, helped strip the paper. Honestly, then realized that was not even paper. The paint not only was horrid, it was this was that white thick glue coat that you kids use in school when they're young, really thick, almost turns into rubber. Yeah, I think they mixed that with red paint. So to remove that off the walls, the paint off the walls, 1 week it took to remove the paint out of the walls, to scrape it all off, because it was awful as anything. So we started doing that. And in that week, because I was more awake and I was more aware of what's going on in my body, because, you know, my husband would come on, get up, you have to do this, you have to do that. Obviously I had to come down and cook for myself. I started feeling really strange things. I noticed I was literally, my body was in absolute ache. There's so much pain. My body was aching so much, and I was moving around. Whenever I had to move around my shapes, I was moving around like a 90-year-old woman. 90-old woman. And I thought, Yeah, so my husband just came through. He sat next to me, smiling at me. I said, "What you do? What you recording?" I said, "I'm recording about stroke." We just sat there. I said, "Can you go? Because I'd like to finish this." Oh, it's disappointed. Left the room. So yeah, I was feeling really strange, really weird, really shaky, everything like that, and I had the feeling that it had nothing to do with the situation that was going on in the house. I had a feeling that had to do with the medication that the doctors had prescribed me at the hospital. So honestly, I couldn't sleep. I was shaking, my legs were shaking, my nerves were shaking. I could not sleep at all. I could not sleep. It was just it was this overall sense of physical and mental unwellness. I was unwell in every single aspect. I couldn't even be talking, I'd be like, that's how I was talking. So one day, I was in the kitchen and my husband came down and said, listen, I turned to him and said, listen, I'm going to tell you something. And what I'm going to tell you is not for you to stop me of what I'm about to do. It's just to inform you in case something happens to me. You know why, and so you know how to act immediately. And it had like, what are we going to do? I said, from this moment, I'm going to stop taking every single medication that the doctors have prescribed to me. The only thing I'm going to carry on taking is the blood thinner, nothing else. And I'm going to carry on taking blood thinner because I just suffered a stroke, and that was from a blood clot, and I don't want just to take it. I don't want to just stop taking this because I read online if you just stop taking without a guidance from a doctor, it can actually have the opposite effect. It can cause worse issues. So I'm going to stop taking every single one of them. My husband said, I'll support you, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do, I'll support you. Do not worry. I'll support you. I'm here for you. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, I'm sure I want to do this. So he said, yes, I'm here for you. Stop taking whatever. And then that same evening, he phoned his dad because his dad was a while ago, he had a bit of a kind of high cholesterol or something like that, and the doctor prescribed him statin, which is awful medicine. Statin, that's the same one the doctors prescribed me when I suffered the stroke. Prescribed him statin, and he said, listen, Savi's going to stop taking the medicines that she's been prescribed. And his dad was like, which ones? And he said, he labeled every single one of them, and his dad was like, which one again? Say again the one you just said to me, statin. He said, tell her to stay away from that, because the doctors also prescribed me statin, and from the moment I started taking it, I started to feel extremely unwell, and I just stopped. And I believe I stopped just in time. If she can stop this, I'll stop that. And apparently one of his dad's colleagues also was given statin, and then this medicine gave him so many problems. So I stopped taking that. And I'm gonna fast forward a bit, so and then I'm gonna go back I'm gonna tell you. I stopped taking that. I've stopped taking every single one of the medicines that are prescribed to me, even the blood thinner, because when I went to see the neurologist in Portugal, which is one of the best neurologists in the country, he looked at this, not just the prescription, also the strength that was prescribed to me, and he was utterly shocked. He said, do people in UK want to kill you? Number one, you don't need this, you don't need that, you don't need that, and even if you need this one, it's way too strong. This one, the strength that they're giving this one is the strength they give to a man who's quite big. You're female, you're really small, so you don't need any of this. And I said, what about the blood thinner? He said, you don't even have to take this. You can take aspirin. I said, really, aspirin? Because aspirin is a well-known well-known medicine. It's been studied and is well known for how many decades, I don't even know, maybe like 50 decades, 50 maybe, I'm not sure, maybe so 50, yeah, 50, 60 decades. Aspirin is well known in the medical industry. So I said, brilliant, just give me the aspirin. And to this date, I only take aspirin, 100 milligrams of aspirin every day. So yeah, I stopped taking that, and then yeah, obviously things were a bit edgy in the house, still quite a lot of tension. And I was so glad when the day came when I had to fly to Portugal. Yes, my husband took me to the airport. I got on a plane, feeling really vulnerable, because I'd been feeling really vulnerable all this time. My self-esteem, the confidence in me completely disappeared. So I went through, got on the plane, arrived in Portugal. My cousin went to pick me up at the airport, and I had to put this brave face. I had to try to walk as best as I could. Okay, I'm gonna get to the end now. Well, this is the end, and I know it takes me a really long time just to tell one single bit of the story of the day, but you know what, it's difficult for me to tell you this, and I have to pause, I have to repeat myself over and over again. It's not easy, it isn't easy, having to go back to such a traumatic period in my life. And to be honest, it is a traumatic, it still feels really traumatic, because I don't feel the same anymore at all. I've never felt the same, especially, as you know, I've been made redundant. If you don't know, I've been made redundant. I got made redundant 18th of July. So yeah, apologies if this video seemed too long, with not much to say. But yeah, I'll see you next week, as usual, Saturday or Sunday, depending what I'm doing in one of those 2 days. But I guarantee you, definitely going to see you next week. I mean, tomorrow, with you know, my daily diary, I'm talking about the fourth part of this story. Yes, right. Well, have a lovely day, evening, afternoon, morning, breakfast, lunch, tea, dinner, whatever you're doing. Think positive. As I always say, there's a strong light at the end of the tunnel. You just need to focus on it. The more you focus on it, the brighter that light will shine in your direction, so you can lead, so you can show the path to positiveness, to well-being, to good fortunate things. So be positive. Today the weather is beautiful. I'm not going for a walk. Today's my lazy day. I'm not going for a walk today, but you should go for a walk. I go for a walk almost every day. The days I haven't been going for a walk is when it's been raining, awful. So you should go for a walk. Again, I take so long to say goodbyes. Why do I do that? Anyway, have a lovely day. Bye. Have a lovely Sunday, if it's Sunday for you, because it's Sunday the day I'm recording. Right then, bye.